Okay, talofa lava, kia ora, kapa, and welcome, you Wantoks. Welcome to our Nesian Kings NRL preview for round 15 with the BroFreshionals. And joining me tonight, we have our brother Phil from New Zealand.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the
Sure.
broadcast.
Excellent. And we also have our resident coach, Julius Carissa from the Gold Coast.
Hello for everybody. Welcome.
Okay, awesome. We've got a jam-packed show for you guys tonight, and so we'll get right into it. There's a lot that's been going on. We haven't been on for a while due to different issues and stuff like that, but it's great to be back. And to kick off tonight's show, we're going straight to Phil and what he wants to talk about tonight, and that's basically having a look at the showdown between Packer and Bromwich.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. Packers seems to be up for the challenge. It's going to be a good game. They're going to have their Origin players out, obviously. So, and Bromwich, he's probably the number one prop at the moment in the NRL, I'd say. He's just smashing it. So it'll be interesting to see how Rusty goes up against them. And I'm glad that after the challenges that Rusty's gone through, he's setting goals. He's starting to make challenges for himself as well. And he hasn't been playing bad. He's been some good go forward for the Dragons. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll be looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah. No, that's such a great story, that one, eh? Like, mate, I tell you, that will, just what he's gone through and that, and just how he's come out.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that's a big thing in terms of, like, for the young guys going out and stuff like that. We had the same issue in that up here in Newcastle. Where young guys come on board, they go out, and like Joe Tuppeny and that, and like one of the other boys that were here for the under-20. There's that culture of going out, and then when they were going out, they were always getting challenged by other young, alcohol-fueled, testosterone-filled guys, and that, and knowing that they were part of the Knights thing, and that they'll always get challenged and stuff sort of like that, and but that's the danger of getting involved with that sort of activity, and then and it doesn't take much for it to turn totally wrong. It's great to see him, because that would have been pretty dark in that for me. And it's great to see him like what you're coming back. It's been what, must have 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
That for his journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this guy probably could have easily ended up on Christmas Island, getting deported back here to New Zealand, and he's set himself some massive challenges, and he's done it. He's put his head down. Yeah. Whereas, like you said, a lot of the people, they go out and make bad choices. I'm glad that he's finally making good choices, because he is a good player. He's obviously a good player. He's teams are wanting him, and he's been a Kiwi as well. So and he's got a bit of a brain on him too. He's not stupid. Apparently, he's quite academic. Just again,
Jules?
the culture that you're in, and be interesting.
Yeah, I think the adversity that he's come through, I think that's really, it's changed him as a man, not just as a player. I think he appreciates the opportunity that he has now to play football. It's a luxury. It's not something that you can be complacent with. And you're right, Ryan. The lessons of young men going out and getting on the drink, and that used to happen a lot back in the day, and it sounds like it still does now. So young men will be young men, and I'm still surprised, like even with the likes of Valentine, was it Napa and Milford,
Yep.
breaking curfew and going out on the drink when when they know that there were rules for Queensland, just silly mistakes, like that could have easily, had they been confronted by someone that was intoxicated. And I think for Packer, and you're right, Phil, he would have easily have been a candidate to be, what do you call it, deported back to New Zealand. And I think he's thankful that there were a lot of league people that provided some character references and support that really strengthened his case to remain in Australia and to play professional, to play his sport. Because at the end of the day, he paid for his wrong. He wasn't expecting to do he wasn't expecting to do jail time, especially for that period of time, but he did. So, and it's a great story of coming back, overcoming obstacles, and just continuing to dream. And now he's where he's at. So, really good role model.
And he's sitting in a challenge against who I rate as the best prop in the NRL at the moment. It's big. He's been quiet up until now, so so he's obviously looking forward to this one. Maybe he's looking at a Kiwi jersey again. Who knows?
Well, that's it, eh? Good on him. Wish him all the best in that for the upcoming challenge and for the rest of the season. And him and his family. It's great to see a young man in that back on track, knuckle down. Alrighty. Well, it brings us to Jules, your highlight for the week in terms of
what's my highlight of the week?
In terms of your highlight for the week, and that we're looking at this young Kalen Ponga. I've only seen snippets of that. I've only seen snippets of that about him, but you wanna? I don't think too many people are aware about this young fella.
No. I mean, the Cowboys have had him under wraps for a little while now. He had been playing, his video came out in the last year or two, playing rugby union. So, and he's just been carving up. This guy is, touted as the next best thing in the game. And already there's a tug of war as to which his allegiance, whether it be to New Zealand, because he is a Kiwi. Born in Australia to Kiwi parents, so he's still got that ties to New Zealand, and he's currently in Manawatu at the moment with family. So, but everything he's got skills, he's got speed, he's got vision, he's got all the traits and skills to make him. I know it's a lot of pressure to put on someone so young, but that's exactly what they're doing. Is that they've seen what this kid could do and looking at the potential to be a really great player in the game. And I notice he's contracted to the Cowboys to the end of next year. He hasn't re-signed with the Cowboys because the Cowboys have re-signed Koo, their current fullback. So I think his dad has a lot to do with his contract. And maybe they were thinking that he will be playing first grade next year at fullback, but Kurt has obviously extended his contract. So they are looking for, I think they're out in the market. So, he could command a lot of money without even playing NRL, just like Joe Tapini is with the Raiders. Talented kid and just amazing skills.
So is he primarily a fullback, or?
He plays fullback, but he's in the same mould as Lockyer, where I think people say that he'll eventually come into first receiver, into the halves, and definitely wouldn't be out of place playing in because he can definitely play with the ball. He's got vision. He can create as well as run. So he's got everything there.
Will he still not play first grade staying at the Cowboys?
Will he not play first grade? I think
Yeah.
with Kurt, unless Kurt gets injured, I don't think he's going to see any first grade debut this year. But you never know, he might force his way in.
But where would he see first grade? Would any other coach take him and say, okay, you're going to be our first grade?
Oh, there are clubs lining up. There are clubs lining up to sign him. I think he's
a regular fullback.
To be a fullback.
Yeah. Because it's not only the NRL clubs, but it's sort of like
rugby.
Rugby as well. The rugby.
Yeah.
Like the like there's some room of the gridiron. Some gridiron talking that around.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, with gridiron, I think with rugby that's a genuine, negotiation, contract negotiation, because he's played rugby as well. He's and his footage on YouTube is from his rugby at school. So, the kid's got a lot of options.
Yeah, and that's awesome that he does. I think he's in the right place. So, I mean, it'll be good if he stayed. I think he'll get nurtured at the Cowboys.
Oh, I agree.
I agree. The same way they brought Jason Tomalolo through. I mean, Jason was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And now look at him. You just got to. I believe that you got to do your time.
This kid's 18 years old, and I've got a feeling his dad has a lot to say about his contract. It reminds me of McAllister. Charlie McAllister with his kid. There's just because he's talented, he still hasn't been proven in first grade. So just because he's in high demand, and you're right, Phil. I think to be at the Cowboys where Jonathan Thurston still is, Kurtz, and where he's got that awesome spine up there, he can really learn the game and develop as a player. So just because I've signed on Kurt, I think he should stay there for another year. He's still young, another couple of years. And who knows? He might end up overtake Kurt next year.
Yeah. He's got big shoes to fill in fullback position no matter where he goes, no matter what club he goes to. There's some pretty good fullbacks out there.
Yeah.
I just believe that, the parents of our young PI kids, the expectations are a little bit too unreal sometimes.
Yeah, and like going to the highest bidder, that's not especially at such a young age, it should be, where is my boy going to develop the best? Where is he going to learn the best? Where is he going to be, the best place for him to be nurtured and to grow as a player, not given to the who's paying the most. If that's the case, then I'm afraid.
Can this club offer my son some work if he gets injured and can't play anymore? We've got to start thinking about things like that. And that's the hardest part between not having a proper manager, especially for our PI kids, because their parents do get involved a lot. Their parents have a lot to say. There've been a couple of boys that we've talked to, and the parents are just like, oh, no, not going there. And then this huge offer will come and they're like, oh, yeah, go there. But the offer will be for a year. It's like, oh, so what happens after a year?
Yeah.
Where does he go after that? You've just turned down 3 other clubs for 3 years. They're not going to say, oh, you come back here. You've turned us down for a year contract. So the parents
is that
too much say.
Yeah. So is that a common occurrence with the parents being involved, or is it because do they have managers?
Yeah, you have a manager.
You have to have a manager. Yeah. You have to have a manager.
But the parents have a big influence on.
Yeah, some parents do, and I think it's good for parents to be able to be there in negotiations with contracts. To ensure that their boy is not, doing the right thing, the manager's doing the right thing by their son. But I think maybe some parents can be a bit, over, to take over the thing and demand. Yeah, it just. I just hope he makes the right decisions.
Yeah. So really, based in
just come to the Bulldogs. He's a classic example. Everything when he was with us, everything that he earned went to mum and dad. Everything. And he just he had nothing when he was here. He had to break out of that mold, and now he's playing some really good footy for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Just sometimes our kids need to get away. I know it's hard for them, but
yeah. So it's better, so have you given some parents that, in terms of things to consider? So it shouldn't be just the money thing, eh? Like what you guys are saying, it should be having a look at the environment, whether it's a learning environment. What sort of learning environment they're going to provide for my kid? Is it going to be what other tips would you guys give to parents that are going through negotiations and representing, and have a big influence on those negotiations? What tips would you guys say for parents to consider? What
look at the
things
culture of the club.
You mentioned
I'd say look at the culture of the club, or even the culture of the surroundings. Like if they're coming to Newcastle, what's it like in Newcastle? You don't want to send. There were kids from here that were sent over to Australia, and the two kids they were taking bread and putting it under their beds and not eating it at night because they weren't getting enough food from their billet house. But the thing is, they were put into a house. The club put them into a house with an Asian family. These are two Samoan boys. They're totally different cultures, so they had no idea. So they used to buy bread and then put it under their bed. They just. So you just got to look at the culture around and what the club's going to do. Have a look at things like so what happens if my son gets injured? What happens if this happened? What's the story of the first grade? Is he going to train with first grade, or is he just playing in reserve grade? Yeah, got to ask those questions as well.
Yeah,
because it's different when you're a reserve grade player from when you're in the NRL squad. You can still play reserve grade, but if you're signed on as an NRL squad, then that's different. That's a little bit more money than just being signed on to the club.
Can you explain that, Phil? So if you're part of the NRL squad,
you get paid a little bit extra.
Yeah.
So all the reserve grade players not all of them are part of the NRL squad. Like for example, in the Q Cup, all the players in the Q Cup, for example, the feeder for the Melbourne Storm team, not all of them are contracted to the Melbourne Storm.
Okay. Yeah.
Where they will have certain
players. I think the NRL. I think it's 25 players, eh?
Yeah,
25 contracted players. Yeah. So they're the ones that have got the NRL contracts. And with the thing with your kid getting signed up, and kids don't get signed up by NRL clubs to play NRL. They've got to be signed up through the under 20s. And I know, speaking like with the Titans, depending on who you are, they don't really have too much money. And I know a lot of the Titans kids that come down, that filter down to us at Burleigh Bears, mate, they live like an hour away, an hour and a half away. Some of them don't get any transport allowance even. They've got to make their own way down to Titans training. That's 3 or 4 times a week. At their own costs. They don't assist with any work. It might be only the top tier of that under 20 team that gets that. So as far as contract negotiations for kids, unless you're someone like Kalen Ponga, they don't chuck too much money at kids, so it's
Oh,
almost
no, not at all.
yeah. So that's almost like here's peanuts, and see how you go. If you really develop and play well, then we'll definitely look at you to sign you on from here on in. So yeah. So at that level, I think as parents, it's about what Phil said, the culture of the club. What's work, all that sort of stuff to make sure that at least they're getting some sort of assistance with transport, some education, all that sort of stuff. So.
I think education is the key, and I mean, our welfare officer, he needs to work harder to get our kids into, especially our 20s, because that's part of the requirement to play 20s is to either be studying or to be working. And again, they have to make their own way, which is pretty basic in Auckland. It's easy for Auckland because they don't live that far away, and they don't study that far away from Mount Smart. Whereas I can understand, you've probably got kids coming from all over the place in the Gold Coast to try and get to training. Yeah, you'd have kids as far as Logan, I suppose.
Yeah, further than Logan. So it's
no, that's right. I think one of the things that I think parents and that should be really aware of, especially if they're coming over young, is that when they're coming over here, one that they come over and then you got to find employment. Employment's a big part. You've got to be able to pay your way, get to your training, get to your games and stuff like that. And employment-wise, like up here in Newcastle, a lot of the boys in that were being put through the Steagall's chicken factory in that. And they end up not having the best jobs because they also do the labouring jobs, which are really hard. And those are really hard jobs. You get up, you do your hours and that, then you got to go to training, and field, and then they've also got to sort out their transport. Then they've got to sort out their free time. And a lot of times I've seen guys in that using their free time instead of using it like for education wise, they're spending it playing games, sleeping, and then going to training and that sort of thing. And they tend to drift towards drinking because they've got so much spare time. And you got to really ask, do the clubs have the education system in place? Because if they're not working in that, they've got this free time. They should be educating themselves in that. If they come over, they don't have much experience in that. They've only played league. They don't have much work experience and stuff like that, unless they haven't gone to uni or TAFE and stuff because they're playing in the system. But it's things like that you really need to. Parents really need to think about, like what you guys were saying in terms of the not only the culture of the club, but the culture of the area they're in. Like the environment.
I'll tell you now, the education and welfare in the NRL, they needs a revamp. As I'm talking about my experience here, they give these roles to former players. They give these roles to former players that great because they know what it takes to be at that top level. That's awesome. But those players don't have no insight to the social, the kids, where the kids have come from, how they're affected by social issues, all that sort of stuff, and educating them, providing them access to different trainings and all that sort of stuff, employment. I just don't think those welfare officers are up to speed with that. And I'm seeing that with the Titans education and welfare officer and the dealings I'm having with some of the Titans 20s players that are dropping down. So maybe they need to look at that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely look at it. And just because you're a former player doesn't mean you know what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
You can tell the kids what's happening with everyone, but doesn't mean you know.
Just linking them into the appropriate services in the community. Just being aware of what's out there in the community. If you're not a community type person, if you've never experienced that, then you're going to find it really hard. It doesn't matter if you've played how many tests for the Kiwis or Australia. If you're not a community-based person that knows how to connect the kids to the appropriate services, you're not going to be able to do your job. And maybe there are welfare officers out there that go into network meetings to get their name out, to familiarise themselves with the services that are out there in the community. Then maybe there's a chance there that they'll be able to help some of these kids. But I know for a fact it doesn't. I know for a fact it doesn't happen. So they really need to look for the welfare of our kids coming through, because let's face it, the things that you brought up, Raya, is exactly right. It's a tough gig to be a professional footballer. It takes more than talent. If you think talent can get you there, there's more than that. You've got to find work. You've got to your transport costs. You've got to manage your money. You've got to manage time. Everything. And then to finally get down to be contracted in that 25, it doesn't mean that you're going to be an NRL player. There's still another hill to overcome. So there's just so much. It's the start of it. So if those kids don't have that support right from the beginning, they're on the. It's a harder fight for them to win if they don't have that support right from the beginning to guide them through that process. So they need to look at that.
One of because they had this house with 5 guys in it. There was supposed to be a lady that did the cooking and that for them, and provide them. There's 5 testosterone-filled guys in that. It's ended up fighting with themselves. And I'm not sure whether there was some really care factor there. It was more like talking with with Jackie about this, and she was going, mate, it's more like a holding cell. And if you're good enough, then we'll take you. But however you turn out, we don't want you if you're a bad egg or something like that. But I really thought that there was a lot more they could have done to nurture these kids. They just sort of left them there, and it's like, we'll see which one gets out, which one, the best of the crop, and that survives that environment.
It's like Hunger Games.
Who's going to survive all the challenge, the drinking, the going out, the fighting? Who doesn't get end up in the papers or goes to court? And okay, well that's the one we that really puts in the work in that.
And that's a cutthroat side of the business, and the club that they'll only have the cream of the crop. And you can understand where they're coming from. It's a business for them. They want to win. So whoever survives, whatever situation they put those kids in, they'll take them and not worry about anyone else. That's been our fight up here in the last few years with the kids that come over to Kibra Park, whose dreams are dashed because they've always thought about the NRL and there's no plan B and all that sort of stuff. We've tried to hold the clubs. Well, not tried to hold the clubs. We're asking the clubs to be a bit more accountable, And the thing is, there's no guarantee for them to come over. It's a scholarship. It's an opportunity. And if you don't make it, then you don't make it.
Well, there's a lot that can be said on that topic. That's such a great topic in terms of looking after our young guys and that. But well, I'm sure we'll talk some more about it in the future. But we'll moving right along, man. Well, my highlight for the week is the NRL rookie. Basically, this is I think it's a show that's been made for TV, and I'm not sure what happened last year. The previous year, they asked for contestants and stuff, and they didn't do it. I'm not sure. Did anybody know who the NRL rookie was from the previous year? Did they actually make it through? Or?
No, I don't think they. I think this is the first, isn't it? Or was there a show last year? I don't think there was.
We didn't get it.
No, They didn't have the show, but they asked for
they asked
entrance.
people to send in YouTube and there's a few from here that sent some in. Some guy running for a wall or some shit.
Well, that's it. Those guys that send in those videos are now on that show.
Yeah.
On the rookie that time now.
But the previous year they had like there's that I remember that is it a Tongan boy or big? He's an accountant or something, and I think he flew from Wellington to Auckland to play.
He's Fijian.
Fijian, yeah. And he's got that. He had that big run in that. So,
yeah.
And
he played for the University Hunters over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
but last year
he
played for Mount Albert.
Yeah, so that was the year that sort of. I'm not sure what happened with that crop of guys that were, but they've got a new crop that's come in, and
I thought that was all in this year. I thought that was all like his application along with everyone's was all in for this program that's on now.
Oh, okay.
And, I haven't watched it. I've watched it online, and to be honest, when I saw the people that are on there, and I've seen some of the people that have put in their videos, I'm like, man, this is a joke.
Really?
Honestly, that's a joke. That guy that ran through the brick wall.
Yeah.
He's in it, and I just. Yeah, I think it's just made for TV. He is a bit of a character, but they had an American guy that had never played rugby league before, and he's a gridiron. Apparently, tried out for the 49ers or something.
Yeah, I think they're trying to cover that Jared Hayne angle.
Yeah, I just think that they would
obviously just for the telly.
Yeah. Well, there's a few. Well, the reason why I brought it up is there's a few Nesians in there, especially there's some Kiwi boys. There's about four Kiwi boys that are on there. So I've had two cut from the NRL or the rookie. They've got one PNG guy, one Fijian, and three Kiwi boys that are taking part in it. So as you said, it's made for TV, but hey, we've got some Nesians in there. So if you want to check it out, so how do you think they compare? Yeah, you get it online, so you can watch it online. Okay. That's NRLrookies.com. You can go check them out. Check out the Nesians that are taking part in it. But it is made for TV. It was funny because the 14 they actually picked, they ended up having a game against the other boys in that they put in their applications, and they actually lost, I think. They lost to the guys that got picked. Actually lost to the
guys that didn't get picked.
The other boys in that.
It's terrible.
Yeah, the guys that didn't get picked. And then,
well, that just shows
it's funny. So they had So they had Dale Shearer's son. There's a lot of like these stories and that behind everybody's journey and what they're trying to do in terms of getting making it into the NRL. They had Dale Shearer's son, Jesse Shearer in that, but he was one of the first ones out of the 14 to get cut. So there's another guy there with with heart problems, and then just trying to make a comeback and that. But
what the? It's not the voice, man. Come on. This is footy. He's got some heart problems. He's going to come out and play footy.
I think it was a good idea. I mean, like AFL had a show, AFL rookie. Obviously UFC with the Ultimate Fighter. It's a good made for TV type show. But whether they pick the right people, like you said, just for television, some characters, a bit of laugh, and I certainly didn't. If the Kiwi boys in there, Nesian boys, they definitely support, but it's not a program that I'll watch.
You'll be following it. I think it would have been better so you could get a job, find a job, and mate. No, but so that was the highlight in that. But so it's made for TV. There's some Nesians on there. You can go check out and support. But we'll move right along to.
There's all these salary cap issues. All these salary cap issues in the NRL are going out and getting money for a TV program like that, a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously?
Shot. Okay, man, to more important matters this weekend. We've got the Rabbitohs and Eels. I see everyone's all gone for the
I think I went Eels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went Eels.
So, Phil, why? Why the Eels?
I just don't think the Rabbitohs have any direction at the moment. The game that they played last week, they're just, I don't know, their forwards aren't going forward. GI looks lost in the halves. And I just think that the Eels are probably a little bit sharper than what the Rabbitohs are at the moment.
Jules?
Yeah, I think both these teams are struggling as far as like off-field stuff, but I think the Eels are coping better with it. I think with the Eels, of what's happening off-field for them, it's almost galvanised them a bit, so that they are playing with a bit more steel. Whereas if you look at the Rabbitohs, even the Herculean Burgess, he's making errors. I think he got injured in the weekend. It's just not there, and there's a lot happening, I think, for them off field. And I think maybe the coach may not be getting, he's just not. He's not getting his players to perform. So for me, the Eels just dealing with the off-field stuff better than the Rabbits.
The Rabbits. Oh, good. I tend to agree in that. So we're all gone with the Eels. And the second game for the round on Saturday, it's the Dragons versus the Storm. Jules?
Oh, I've got the Storm. I've got the Storm for some reason, with especially with State of Origin. They'll be missing their top three. But in saying that, I think their last few games with the win against the Roosters last week and the previous week, I think they had a pretty good win. I think with the Queensland representatives not being there, I think those last few weeks have been really good for the Storm. I think it's really some of those players will stand up and be leaders. I still have question marks over the Dragons. They got beaten pretty good against the Dogs in the weekend, and I still question when they're put under a bit of pressure. I think there's a soft underbelly there.
Phil?
Yeah, I think the Dragons, because of those Origin players being out. In saying that, you've got the likes of Proctor, Tohu, and Bromwich who are playing some awesome footy. But I just think, I don't know. I think the Dragons might have it over them just because of those Origin players, and they'll be pretty pissed off with that try that happened against Canterbury. They were 60-0 at that stage, and then T-Rex passes the ball to himself, and the referee let it go. Which was, I thought that was pretty bad, and I just think there were things that didn't go the Dragons' way against the Bulldogs, and some of them had made the mistake, but I think they'll take it this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I've basically gone the same way, and yeah, the thinking of it, the Storm might have a bit more direction. Considering the players that are missing from the Storm, St George might have a bit more direction in that in their game. So yeah, I've gone for the Dragons. Wow. Well, alrighty. I'm moving right along. I know this is something that we haven't got it down, but it's something that we need to go through. We need to actually start. We need to talk about state of origin. Okay, so Queensland have taken the first game, and now it's time for the second game. I think we'll start with you first, Phil, because you're New South Wales. Don't worry about who cares about Queensland. So, Phil, what are your thoughts, brother?
For the first time in many, many years, I actually missed the first State of Origin. It was the same day that my nephew was buried. So,
that's right.
Yeah. So I missed it, and when I saw the score, I was like, oh, must have been a pretty crap game. But I saw highlights, and it was a good game. What I saw was, but yeah, and it's a tough Queensland team to beat. I do bleed blue, and to try and beat them in Suncorp is going to be hard. But I hope that we can do it. We haven't got the likes of Dugan there, and now Graham's been suspended. Hopefully, Frizzell will get in there and take his opportunities. And around the ruck area, we might be able to do. I was just saying around.
Yeah.
I hope he gets into the team.
Yeah. Is it a definite or that he's
No,
in?
I'm just not yet.
Oh yeah.
He should be there.
Hopefully, yeah. No. Do you think we've got the team to pull the upset?
I think we do.
Pull off the upset this week.
I think Daly did the right thing by sticking with the same group of boys. They made the mess. They have to clean it up, kind of thing. Maloney's playing some good footy at the moment. And without Nate Miles there, like we discussed earlier, he's pretty, special on defence.
Yeah.
And without him there, around that ruck area, might be a bit more vulnerable for the Queenslanders.
Right.
If they decide to get back their 10.
Yeah. Absolutely, totally agree. Okay, now we'll have to go over to Queensland, man. Okay, Jules, what do you have to say for yourself, mate?
Well, look, I bleed blue as well.
You're breaking up there, Jules. What?
I bleed blue as well. The true blue, Sam more blue. Okay, so not this New South Wales stuff, mate. Listen, that first State of Origin game is probably the most boring State of Origin game that I've seen in many years. I'm a purist as well. I love the forward exchange and the ruck, but I just it was 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go. I just wanted the game to break open. And I think it's up to New South Wales to bring that game to Queensland. Queensland are the champions, so New South Wales have to offer something, to question the Queensland defence. They've got to throw the ball around, play some second phase ball, just to disrupt their defensive line. They're just up the ruck, and I think Paul Gallen he doesn't need to dominate. He doesn't need to receive the ball all the time, and I think he's detrimental to the New South Wales game. I believe they've got the team there to win it. I agree. James Maloney and Reynolds, I think they're great halves pairing, but I think they need to play a bit more football and not worry about trying to win that ruck. I think second phase ball, they've got a young team. They can really cause some havoc. if they throw the ball around, use the ball.
Yeah.
But then saying all that,
I noticed that it wasn't a very expansive game from both teams.
yeah, and that's what I mean. The New South Wales were easy pickings. Not to say, like the Queensland didn't have to do too much to hold them out. Obviously there was a struggle, but there weren't enough questions posed in their defensive line. It was just one-off stuff. It was simple. It was easy. So I'm expecting New South Wales to really have a shot on Wednesday. To really give it a go.
And they need to.
Yeah, it was really interesting to hear what Fiddler had to say. Like he was talking about that the team really didn't know how to run off Fifita. Yeah, because he was when Fifita came on, he was starting to cause that breaking the line, causing a bit of havoc, and that just what he was doing. He was just saying that Fifita's that sort of X factor, and that the New South Wales didn't really know how to play with that. To work off that sort of havoc that he provides, and being one of the few Nesians in that are playing State of Origin, I think he might. It'll be really good to see him have a big game this weekend.
He had a big game that first game. He came on, and I think the impact that he made when he came on was, you're right. There were a couple of times he had offloading opportunities, but there was no one there. And he made it, some really, really strong runs that bent the Queensland defence. But unfortunately, he was pulled after I think 11 or 12 minutes because
really
he was sucking in the big ones.
But then they never got him back on.
No. And the other question with the New South Wales that everyone's been talking about is Dylan Walker's inclusion in the 17. And then to give him I think 9 minutes at the end. There's still, I can't understand the selection, to be honest. But
I mean, you got Tedesco there, who's played some pretty good footy.
Yeah, Tedesco, and I don't know. It's a strange one. But he could be the game winner. He could be the game winner in game 2.
Yeah, he's a loyal man, Laurie Daly. Look what happened to the All Blacks in the World Cup, man. They got Stephen, what's his name back? Stephen Donald, and he won it.
Yeah.
All Blacks. Hold on, All Blacks, Blues. Not really a comparison there. All Blacks, they lose 8 years in a row.
We got this one, man. We got this one.
Oh, man. Yeah. One can only pray. One can only pray.
I pray. Sacrifice.
Sacrifice of child. No. Alrighty, we'll move it right along then. Don't worry.
Good luck to the Blues, mate. I hope it's a good game.
Man, Fifita's playing awesome, though.
Yeah. It's good, yeah. As long as he doesn't get penalised.
Yeah, he played good in the Cowboys game.
Yeah. Yeah, big ups to the Sharks. That was a good win by the Sharks. On the weekend, they had a really good win. And talking about the Sharks, Phil, this is your man, Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, I think
this is your player for the... Yeah.
He plays some really good footy. He's gone through his ups and downs as well. And he's obviously just put his head down, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the Kangaroo squad at the end of the year. Unfortunately, he has aligned himself to Australia, which is, fair enough. He was born in Townsville. So, it is a kid that's just, I think it was 2014 he started playing NRL, and now it's 2016. He's just developed so much. And that try that he got against the Cowboys was amazing. It was just, the intercept try that he got. Just pinned his ears back and turned Lockie good inside out. So he's just come along really well. It'd be sad to see him in a Queensland jersey and also in a green and gold jersey, but man, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Really
and he was born in Townsville.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like GI.
What?
Yeah, no, he's man, impressive player. That try, there's a lot of talk about in the last couple of years. I was probably late in appreciating what he could do, but this year he's really stepped it up. And I sort of question his size as well. To be competitive at the highest level, but with all those 6-foot plus wingers that are going around, I don't think he's that tall, but he's definitely, he's got that X factor, his speed, he's got everything, and in open spaces, mate, just awesome to see. He's a Cook Island boy, is that right?
Yeah, Cook Island Māori. Yeah. Cook Island Māori. I mean, here's a winger that was taking on Jason Tomarolo. He just doesn't shy away from any of the work, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my player of the round.
Well, awesome. We'll move right along. Jules, we're on you, brother. Mr. David Fisher.
No, this kid, and he's another kid that I thought maybe I've taken a little longer to sort of appreciate, but gee, he's turning into one of the greatest finishers in the game, or one of the finest finishers in the game at the moment. He's 6'5", I think he is. Is that right? 6'5", and and acrobatic. He's got aerial game. He's with the ball in hand. He's just he's going to be a great player for the Warriors and the Kiwis if he continues his form. And I think he's going to bulk up a bit as well. He's still a bit lean. And, our poly wingers, they tend to fill out after a few years, and when that happens for him as well, I think it would be even more devastating. So but the 4 tries in the weekend, and a couple of them were just awesome finishing. It was good to see.
You got a great combination with Tui Moala as well. Him and Tui, it's almost like watching Tana and Christian Cullen of old. They tend to know where each other are, and they play really well together. Especially with Tui playing at fullback. Didn't have the greatest game against Newcastle, but
no, he's doing well. Yeah. Well, my player basically comes from the same game. It's Sean Matautia. I know we were on the losing end, but like everybody knows, we're rebuilding, and but in saying that, like with Sean Matautia, like he's when he feels
you're rebuilding, you take longer than Noah took to build the ark.
But it eventually happened, and they were the only ones that got saved, brother. So we'll eventually come back. But but when you've got 2 premierships and that compared to then you can then you start. But
that's it.
Yeah, but in saying that, like Shawnee, he came through, and he didn't go through State of Origin, but got into the Australian team. That they went through like an injury phase, and then trying to come back. And the Matautia brothers, like they're fantastic Samoan boys. They do a lot. You don't really want to put them up as role models in that, but they're really great kids in that have been representing Samoa really well in the Newcastle region, with Peter Matautia, Chanel, and Pat, and so it's great to see Shawnee came through, and just watching that game, with Shawnee had a really great game. He really stood up on that right side defensively against the against the Warriors. Most of the Warriors' tries came down from the left side, which is on the far end. Yeah, the opposite end from where he was playing, and that. He had a good, solid game defensively, but he also scored a great try in that. So it was really good to see him come back because he's been injured and they come back into a bit of form and that, and hopefully, man, he's still young, but it seems like he's he's one of the senior players already, within the club and that, and he's still a young kid in that. So, and his brother's Peter's come back from St. George. And that he's been out, so he's been out injured, and that was sort of like my player for the round after seeing him have a good dig. He actually had a really good dig against the Warriors, and that, he was determined not to let them come down, come through his end, and it actually showed. He shut down a lot of the attacking plays in that came his way, but shutting it down, and then also scoring himself, and then, but Fusi too was scoring on the left side, with the new winger, and we had no answers to that. But
was it the hairstyle of Memo that helped him out?
Mate,
what's up with Memo's hairstyle? You need some new barbers in Newcastle, mate.
No idea, mate. I better have a closer look. Man. I want to see what's going on with the hairstyles up here.
It was terrible.
Oh. No.
Hey, just on on that thing of Sione making the, didn't go through the New South Wales, the Origin stuff and go straight to the Kangaroos. Do you think there was a bit, because he was in the grand final for the Four Nations, eh? That was a game that he played.
Yeah,
here in Wellington. I thought it might, because he was only 19 when he did that. I thought it might have been a bit early for him, a bit premature, because he got owned by Manu, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
And for a young kid, I know some kids can do it.
But then he also sort of came back, like that at the end there. They could have taken the game from that Four Nations and that. It was right down to the wire. So he was able to, Manu was all over him and that, but when they swung it back out right at the end there, they were able to, I think he was able to cross the line, but they said it was a forward pass. And brought it back. Yeah, and then they brought it back in that. But I think at the time he was probably during that period, he was most probably the best, I think maybe the most consistent centre going around. And I think most probably that's why Sheen's most probably went with him. Because he was playing well on that for the Knights and that. But like it was a young, he's quite young in that at the time. So he sort of struggled a bit, like off recent and that. He's with injury and that, now he's coming back. But it was encouraging to see him. Like he looked like a senior player out there. Like he was, on the weekend, like when in the quarter for, like the try that he scored and that, it needed, hard running onto the ball and stuff like that, and good reads on defense on his side, and he made a couple of breaks in that. So I think, he slowly started, to mature. And I think, at such a young age, he's probably one of the senior backline players that we've got.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely become a more aggressive player, from what I remember him being.
Yeah. So I think, like at the time, he's still trying to find his feet. Because he's relatively young.
That's what I think. Did they rush him in too early? Did they? Because he still could have been in that system right now if he had gone through the channels first.
Yeah.
And I think it's what I was talking about before, being nurtured and this tell him You know, nurture them and make them go through the processes first, and then rather than rushing you into the national squad, and you haven't even played Origin yet, or you know that I don't know. I mean, for some kids,
I think that Australia had a lot of injuries at that time, if I can remember. I don't think there were too many players available for them to be selected.
Yeah, Australia had like a lot of senior players went there. That's what they thought they would use as an excuse for losing to the to the Kiwi. But no, mate. Yeah, but there were senior players in that they were missing.
Yeah, but
so that was
senior
my
players or not, Australia, they could field like 3 A teams.
But that was the good old days, not anymore, I think. Well, looking at the Origin side. So, okay, boys, moving right along. The last 2 games for the round, we've got the Warriors and Roosters. We'll have to go with Phil, man. The Warriors, what's going on, brother?
We're having a good run. We're having a good run, and it's obviously because it's Origin season as well. You know, so we normally do have a good run at this time of the year, and the boys seem to have lifted a bit as well after that that game that we had in Taranaki against Canberra. You know, we had to do something, and when we played against Brisbane, there was, you know, I think their bye helped after the Canberra game, and then when we played against the Broncos, you know, we played really well. Brisbane didn't play as well as what they normally do, and I don't, you know, but we took our opportunities in that game, and I thought we played well. It was good to see Shawnee, you know, running the ball more than kicking it. I think his confidence is slowly lifting, along with Isaac Luke as well. You know, actually getting out of dummy half nice and square, and then, you know, having a look rather than just going through the phases. Because recently, I think he's just been going through the phases like, oh yeah, okay, it's going to go. We're running this play, so he just passes it rather than counting the numbers on defense or just having a look, looking up just before you get to the ruck and that. He's actually having a look, and when there's opportunities, he'll take it. So hopefully, you know, we can continue. But it's not going to be an easy game against the Roosters, regardless of what their score was against the Melbourne Storm. You know, that they're going to come over and try and take some points off us as well.
Jules?
I've gone with him.
Yeah, look, I picked the Warriors obviously because that's my team, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Roosters win. I think the Roosters will come out strong, and they know that. I think the last game they played, the Roosters won. Was that right, or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they know that no matter how bad they're playing, if they can apply pressure on the Warriors, it doesn't take much for them to crack defensively. So I think with that in mind, they're going to come out firing. I think they're Hargraves and Napa and the like will really take it to the Warriors forwards. And like I said, I'm picking the Warriors to win, but yeah, absolutely. And he's I don't know what happened against Melbourne. Melbourne just too good, but I think they're going to be a different proposition this week against the Warriors. So.
Well, that's good. Alrighty. Yeah, Mun's out from this game. Alrighty, we've got Titans versus Eagles. Phil, we'll have to go with you and your Sea Eagles, mate.
Oh, mate, not a good year this year for the Sea Eagles, but yeah, I picked them again because it's my team. Yeah, I've always supported Sea Eagles, so I think they can beat the Titans. You know, they've got a lot of injuries right now with, you know, a lot of their senior players out, and with Steve Matei being out for the rest of the season. You know, there's a pretty sad way for him and Jamie Lyon to end their careers together. Steve Matei being out and
Serious?
Jamie Lyon. Yeah, he had
Well, are they
neck
both
surgery.
out for the season?
No, Jamie
Oh,
Lyon
okay.
retires. He retires after the season's done, so they won't be playing
Yeah,
together
yeah.
anymore.
All right.
But yeah, they've got a
And
lot to play for still, I reckon.
Steve. So Steve's out for the full season.
Yeah, he's had surgery on Tuesday, I think it was, or yesterday, Monday,
Oh, yeah.
on his neck.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully, if Nate Miles is still around, then he can at least help them out with some defensive stuff. If he's not up at the Queensland game in that, so it'll be good. It'll be a good game, but Titans aren't running too bad at the moment either. I don't know why they keep starting. Is it Pete's on the bench? Not sure why they do that.
Well, we'll have to go. We'll have to go to our Titans, man. Jules.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Your thought?
Pete's definitely a first choice hooker, but I think with him coming in, the with him coming into the team, the Titans were already playing good football, and their rake at that time was he was instrumental in their success. So rather than drop him, they're having that rotation with Pete's coming off the bench. But I feel with this game, I think with the Titans, they are playing some good football. They're having the good thing about them is when they lose, they go down fighting, and they're fighting way above their weight every week. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going with the Titans to win this game, just based on the work ethic that they've built and created. They're playing for each other, and when a team plays for each other, they play for their coach. They're very hard team to beat. So, whereas I don't know whether Manly are doing that. They still haven't gelled together as a team. It's a new coach. He's trying to put his stamp on the team, and trying to develop his combinations and his philosophy on the new club, on his new club. So they're still going through some teething problems. Yeah, it's they've lost a lot of players as well. So he's it's not going to happen the first year. So they're still going through that, and obviously with Steve Matai injured, he's one of my favourite players of all time. Matai, he's people say what they like about him. I still rate him. I still think he's
one of the hardest players out there.
Yeah, one of the best arm-on players, one of the best poly players to play NRL. You look at the top hits every year, and he's sure to feature in those highlights. And yeah, it's sad that he's out for the year, but hopefully he comes back, and finishes his career on a better note. On his terms, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, boys, that brings us to an end. It's been great catching up with you guys. Great to hear your insights in that. Always a pleasure catching up with you, brothers. There's some good takeaways there that we'll most probably have a look at and think about. There's good games coming up on the weekend. Let's keep an eye out. If you to our listeners, if you've got viewers and that, if you've got any questions and that, make sure you post them through. Or if you've got any topics that you want to discuss, or you want any questions for our panelists, our BroFreshionals, make sure you send them through to us. We'll have some more sponsorships and that later on. But thank you for taking the time to listen. If you've got any ideas on how we can make this a better show for you, make sure you leave us a comment and let us know.
Keep it to yourself, mate.
Yeah, keep it to yourself if it's negative. Phil, thank you also. Great to have you on board once again to our resident coach in Gold Coast. Yeah, Jules, great to have you. Thanks for your insights, brother. And and just signing off, me and Phil would like to say Go the Blues, mate.
Go the Blues.
Good luck,
And,
boys.
You're wearing a blue shirt. You're wearing a blue shirt.
Yeah, the real one, the Samoan one.
All right, brothers. But we'll sign off to you, everyone. Okay, to Faso 4. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.